Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You have interviewed every president of my lifetime. Why is Obama facing so much opposition now? Why is he struggling so much to really fulfill the great flame of ambition and excitement that he was elected on originally in 2009?
Well, you've touched on it to a degree. He made so many promises. We thought that he was going to be, I shouldn't say this at Christmas time, but the next Messiah. And people feel very disappointed because they expected more. It's very difficult when the expectations for you are very high. You're almost better off when they're low and then they rise and rise. His were very high and they've dropped. But, he still has several years to go. What does he have, 3 years more, Pierce? And, there will be a lot of changes when things in that time.
A recent college graduate says Spokane County Sheriff's deputies were sneaking around his house, forced him out of his house onto his knees on his lawn, and handcuffed him in front of his neighbors.
But deputies had the wrong house and the wrong guy.
I come over to my door and I slap it to try to say, hey, look, somebody's in this house and they're not going to let you come in here.
Then he says he got the scare of his life.
Right as soon as I open this door, it's dark outside, it's very dark. All I can see is a pistol pointed right towards me.
Connor says the deputies accused him of being an intruder in his own home. But he says when the mistake was realized, he was the one apologizing, while the deputy said something that gave him chills.
You're lucky I didn't explicit shoot you.
A major concern, which much of the media is downplaying, is that it appears the new NDAA quietly brings a new issue into focus: potentially increased surveillance of Americans, building on the NDAA's already dark legacy of including language that suggests non-combatant Americans merely suspected of aiding alleged terrorists could be locked up indefinitely by the military under the laws of war.
The bust happened yesterday on the Turnpike in Lorain County. They pulled over the driver for speeding, but then some really observant troopers noticed several wires running to the back of the car. Those wires then led them directly to a hidden compartment. Criminals and drug dealers are using the same roads you use every day. And just yesterday, for the first time in Northeast Ohio, state troopers made an arrest under the state's relatively new hidden compartment law, which is when criminals modify the inside of their car, allowing them to store drugs or weapons inside secret compartments. The giveaway this time?
And actually figured it out, followed the wiring, and we were able to get it open.
Troopers then arrested this man, 30-year-old Norman Gurley, who didn't even have any drugs on him, but it didn't matter because in Ohio, just driving a trapped car is now a felony.
People who buy long guns like rifles and shotguns will have to register them.
Even though the law is, at least temporarily, boosting his bottom line, the owner of this Sacramento gun shop isn't a fan.
In the last week of 2013, the gun shop owner says sales of long guns are up 30 to 50%. The reason for the last-second rush? Gun shop owners say it's a new California law going into effect in 2014. It creates a registry for long guns, much like the one already in place for handguns, tracking the make, model, and serial number of the gun, as well as the person who owns it.
Bottom line is, no matter how you feel, if you buy a shotgun or rifle on or after January 1st, you'll have to register it.
Deadline is tomorrow for gun owners to register their high-capacity magazines and assault weapons. Those measures are part of the brand new gun law passed in the wake of the Sandy Hook tragedy. It is estimated that there may be as many as 20,000 assault weapons in the state that need to be registered. But the Connecticut Citizens Defense League calls the law unconstitutional. The group is reminding gun owners of that looming deadline to make sure they don't become felons as of January the 1st.
A vehicle used in war will soon hit the streets in Farmington. This video from the Farmington Daily Times shows the city's newest additions to its police fleet, a used armored vehicle that will be used during SWAT calls and other emergency situations. The American Civil Liberties Union says the program to sell the vehicles to police agencies is further materializing police forces across the country.
You never know when something like this is going to happen. You always have to be on your toes.
For hours Thursday, this normally quiet section of Springfield was on lockdown.
Very scary because I've never seen SWAT team. I'm like coming down the street, I'm like, SWAT team? Police say the man barricaded himself in the home and they negotiated with him for 40 minutes. At some point, Fairfax County Police fired at least one shot, killing the man this evening.
This comes as the victim's family says they've learned John Gear was not armed when an officer shot and killed him.
We want to hear from you whether or not you think the U.S. is a police state or is becoming a police state.
Not only is the United States creating a police state, but the acquisition of over 2 billion bullets, hollow point bullets by Homeland Security, 3,000 mine-resistant armored vehicles by Homeland Security. It is the modern version of the Gestapo, and the American people are looking at a new form of totalitarianism that is compartmentalized, that is corporatized, in order to make it blameless to say that one arm doesn't know what the other arm is doing, and yet the concentration camps are being built, and the American people are going to be placed in them when they choreograph yet another false flag operation on this country